Hi, this is Daryl Meyer from Keller, Texas. Today is Wednesday, November 3rd, 2010. Whew, everybody breathed a little sigh of relief out there. I enjoyed the results from yesterday's elections. Kind of shift things back around, and I think the country came up to the forefront and said, you know what, Barack Obama? No, you can't. You're going the wrong direction. We need you to go this way. Okay? But you know what? Now, finally, Nancy Pelosi can finally feel what it feels like. She can relate to the American people that have lost their jobs, lost their income, because she now has something in common with some of these people, because she too has now lost her house. Yes! Get that woman out of there. Sorry, I don't hold back my feelings. I didn't like her policies. I didn't like her attitude when she says, well, we just have to pass the bill to see what's in it. I just wanted to... What? Sorry, I get a little carried away sometimes. Alright, let's get right to the news. There's a lot of things going on. This first thing out of the WashingtonPost.com says resurgent public Republicans take back control of the House. Republicans captured control of the House on Tuesday, all but ensuring that a chamber that has been the primary accelerator of President Obama's ambitious agenda will instead begin crafting legislation that would seek to undo it. Whew, that's good news. The GOP easily picked up the 39 seats it needed to take power and eclipse the 52-seat gain that propelled the party into the majority in 1994. Fueled by frustration over the economy, voters backed Republicans in every region of the country after a campaign that focused on downsizing government and rolling back Obama's signature legislative accomplishments. Key thing there, let's undo Obama's health care plan. I don't like a health care plan that costs us more than we could go get it in the private sector. It helps fund national abortions, and some people even have to get an RFID chip implanted under their skin. Don't believe me? Read it. Over 2,000 pages on about page 1,001, 1,002, somewhere in there. You can read all about it. I'm not lying, telling you like it is. Republican advisors said they expect the House to vote in January on a plan to cut $100 billion from the federal agencies, and at some point soon after, a bill to repeal Obama's health care law. Yes! No, you can't. I'm sorry. I was beginning to wonder how I was going to handle 2 more years of this same administration. Apparently, the rest of America felt like I did. All right. Here's something very interesting, to shift gears and get back to some other things. This out of Arutz Sheva, also found this story in Israel Today. But here is a former Iranian Revolutionary Guard. He says Iran will bomb Israel. This one I'm reading from Arutz Sheva. Says, speaking from an undisclosed location with his voice digitally altered to protect his true identity, former Iranian Revolutionary Guard Reza Khalili told Israel National Radio's Yashav Fleischer that Iran would not hesitate to use nuclear bombs against Israel. He said, Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad's government will use the nuclear bomb against Israel. They will use it against Persian Gulf countries, and they will use it against Europe to bring about the last Hadith. I've been telling you about this for years now, it seems. You need to get into what Ahmadinejad believes. He's a 12er. Google that. Look it up. He believes he needs to create global chaos to usher in this 12th Imam, or Mahdi, that he believes is the Messiah of the world. The problem is, though, it's probably going to be the Antichrist that you read about in Revelation in the Holy Bible. Okay, so he thinks it's a Messiah. The rest of it, no, it's going to be an Antichrist. So, it says the Islamic commentaries on sayings and activities of Muhammad and his companions that calls for total chaos, lawlessness, and havoc in the world, which creates the circumstances for Imam Mahdi, the Islamic messianic figure, to appear. This guy went on to say that they're working on making that happen. I'm not going to read this whole story, it's very lengthy. but this guy was in the Iran Revolutionary Guard. It's not like some Joe Schmo coming off the street saying this. He was there. He saw what they were doing. He saw what they were working toward. And he is coming out saying they're working toward the bomb. They're trying to create global chaos. And they're going to use the bomb the second they get it on Israel, on other Gulf countries, Persian Gulf countries, and on Europe. Okay? Hello? Anybody hearing me? Anybody? You probably won't see this. They won't show this on CNN. They're going to be too busy talking about Republicans and Democrats. Which, again, House divided. I know there was a couple people didn't like my analogy of that verse, but seriously, how can you not see we have a divided House in this country? Republicans against Democrats. They can't agree with each other. They're more concerned with raising their own income. Oh, I make a nomination to increase our pay. I'll second that motion. Who else can do that? It's crazy. Government for the government. No longer of the people, by the people, for the people, but just government for the government. Okay. Anyway, I want to catch some parts from this other story out of Israel Today. It says a former member of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, the elite military force that keeps the regime in power, has warned that if Iran succeeds in building nuclear weapons, its leaders will not hesitate to use them against Israel, the Persian Gulf states, and Europe. Okay, this man was there. I'm telling you, he was there. Ahmadinejad believes he needs to create global chaos to usher in this 12th Imam, and what better way to do that than nukes? Oh, but it's for peaceful purposes. Liar. He's a liar, lying right through his evil face. Let's see. Here's a story out of Yahoo.com. Iran says Russia gives in to Satan with missile ban. This out of Tehran today. President Ahmadinejad again criticized Russia on Wednesday today for banning the delivery of the S-300 anti-aircraft missile systems to Tehran, accusing Moscow of having caved in to Satan. Of course, he's referring to America. You know what's interesting about this? Hugo Chavez, the president of Venezuela, has a deal with Russia to get the S-300 system from Russia. And, oh, by the way, Chavez and Ahmadinejad are good buddies. How convenient would that transfer be? Watch, it'll probably happen. Anyway, Ahmadinejad goes on to just blast Moscow, saying, you caved in, you gave in to the great Satan. And Russia's just saying, hey, it was part of the, I lost my place. Part of these sanctions against you, and we're just, following what they said we had to do. Ahmadinejad doesn't like that answer. Bad answer. Here's something also out of Yahoo.com. Israel says Iran can build one bomb and soon can build two. This out of Jerusalem Today. Israel's military intelligence chief says Iran possesses enough enriched uranium to build one nuclear bomb and soon will have enough to produce a second. Okay, this came out of Israel. Okay? On the same day that this Revolutionary Guard says, hey, as soon as they get the bomb, they're going to use it on you, Israel, on you, Persian Gulf states, on you, Europe. Think that's going to up the ante a little bit? You think Israel is not paying attention to this? Major General Amos Yadlin's statement coincides with previous assessments from both the CIA and the UN's nuclear watchdog. But any Israeli commentary on Tehran's nuclear program is significant because Israel has not ruled out a military strike to try to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons. Israel, like the West, does not believe Tehran's claims that it is developing nuclear technology to produce energy. In the country, the third richest country in oil, you think they need nuclear technology to produce energy? I don't think so. Just stepping up things here. Here's something that, we know this happens, but you just don't hear about it much. This is out of Yahoo.com. Al-Qaida in Iraq threatens attacks on Christians, of all people. This out of Baghdad. Al-Qaeda's front group in Iraq has threatened more attacks on Christians after a siege on a Baghdad church that left 58 people dead, linking the warning to claims that Egypt's Coptic church is holding women captive for converting to Islam. The Islamic State of Iraq, which has claimed responsibility for Sunday's assault on a Catholic church during Mass in downtown Baghdad, said its deadline for Egypt's Coptics to release the women had expired, and its fighters would attack Christians wherever they can be reached. Oh, by the way, this is that peaceful religion. They're so peaceful. They're attacking Christians wherever they can be reached. Listen to this statement. We will open upon them the doors of destruction and rivers of blood, the insurgent group said in a statement posted late last night on militant websites. Peaceful religion. Oh boy, it's what we're coming to, people. This is what it's about right here. You know, ever since Abraham had Ishmael and Isaac, okay, Ishmael became the father of Arabs and Muslims. Isaac became the father of David, and through his line, Jesus Christ, the Savior of mankind, was brought into the world. This battle's been raging ever since, and it won't stop until Jesus comes back again. Okay? I promise you that. It's going to get pretty bad for us Christians, though. Here's something I love out of newsok.com. I told you about this story a week or two ago, but voters ban judges from using international law. This out of Oklahoma City, the Sooner State. Voters have approved a measure that would forbid judges from considering international law or Islamic law when deciding cases. Republican Rex Duncan, the sponsor of the measure, called it a preemptive strike designed to close the door on activist judges legislating from the bench or using international law or Sharia law. Members of the Muslim community called the question an attack on Islam, and some of them said they were prepared to file a lawsuit challenging the measure. Good luck with that, Muslims. Don't mess with those Okies. They'll take you down. They will take you down. Here's a story I want to touch on briefly. The U.S. Federal Reserve is to stimulate the economy by announcing they're going to pump $500 billion into creating government bonds. You know what? There's 300 million plus Americans. I say give each of them $500,000 with the stipulation they have to buy an American-made car or spend it on furthering their education in American universities and buying other American-made products. You want to stimulate the economy? That's a better way to do it. Don't bail out these chumps like AIG and all these other... Have you seen all the things going on? Fires, floods, tsunamis. You've got huge volcanic blasts in Indonesia along with floods and earthquakes. Hurricane in St. Lucia. Earthquake in Serbia. Western Turkey, major earthquake. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of things happening around the world. Okay, let's talk more about the cross. Let's get into the Bible. 1 Corinthians 2 verse 2 says, "For I determined not to know anything among you except Jesus Christ and Him crucified." This was my brother Paul. You've heard of mission statements, right? Mission statements is something that's highly coveted these days, especially in the corporate world. Every CEO knows how essential it is to have a single sentence that tells what their organization is all about. It builds morale, it keeps the company focused, and it helps to refine the decisions that need to be made. But mission statements have been around a lot longer than corporate America. You may be surprised to discover that the Apostle Paul was a missionary with a mission statement. When he wrote to the church at Corinth, he was very deliberate in pointing out that he had been determined to know nothing else among them except Jesus Christ and Him crucified. Paul had a mission statement, and it centered squarely on the cross. When it came to his ministry, his mission, his message, it was all about what Jesus Christ had accomplished on the cross. It wasn't about this philosophy or this new up-and-coming ideology. Paul wasn't pulled into the trends, okay? He kept focus on the timeless truth of the cross. And because he did, his ministry was focused. His mission was effective, and his message was and is timeless. The cross brings many benefits, and one of them is the sense of mission that it brings to our lives. On the cross, God has given us something that is so significant, so transcendent, and so magnificent that it deserves to be our mission statement in life. And when it is, it allows us to live lives that are focused, effective, and have a timeless impact in this world. Galatians 6:14 says, "But God forbid that I should boast except in the cross of our Lord Jesus Christ." Oh, I had several scriptures I wanted to read, but I'm clearly running out of time. Let me finish with 1 Corinthians 1, verse 18. "For the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God." God bless you. Hope to see you again tomorrow.